Hello everyone, welcome. In this lecture, we are going to look at hydrogenation and trans fats. And this is lecture 10 of Introduction to Food Chemistry. What is hydrogenation and what are trans fats? Hydrogenation is a chemical process where hydrogen gas is added to unsaturated fats, usually vegetable oils, in the presence of a metal catalyst. And this catalyst is commonly nickel. What is the purpose? Is to convert liquid oils into semi-solid or solid fats. And why do we do this? Why do we convert? In order to improve shelf life, to enhance texture and stability, and resist oxidation, so that less rancidity can occur. Hydrogenation converts unsaturated fatty acids into saturated fatty acids. And the side effect is here, we see that there is a transformation from cis to trans isomerization. We said in cis, the hydroxide ions are occurring in the same direction, but in trans, they're in the opposite direction. And the trans fats are linked to coronary heart disease, and they are not very healthy for the body. Modern food industry aims to eliminate trans fats. Later on, we are going to understand why they are not very good for our bodies. Types of hydrogenation. We have basically two types. One is the partial hydrogenation, where only some double bonds are hydrogenated and leads to production of trans fats. And then the second is the complete hydrogenation. Here you find that all double bonds are saturated. No trans fats are formed. And the product is hard and waxy. So between the two, you could discern and find out which one is better for our health, where no trans fats are formed or where trans fats are formed. So what are trans fats? Trans fats are a type of unsaturated fats that form during partial hydrogenation. The hydrogen atoms around a carbon-to-carbon double bond are arranged on opposite sides. That is the trans configuration, unlike in the cis fats where they are on the same side. This structure change gives the trans fats a more rigid, straight shape like saturated fats. Some sources of trans fats, we have the artificial and the natural sources, and most of them are the artificial sources whereby partially hydrogenated oils are formed. For example, margarine, shortening, baked goods, including pastries and cookies, and also fried fast foods. The natural trans fats occur in very small amounts, especially in meat and dairy from ruminant animals, e.g. cows. The health risks of trans fats. Trans fats increase the LDL cholesterol, which is the bad cholesterol, and they lower the HDL cholesterol, which is the good cholesterol. The low density lipid cholesterol is a type of cholesterol that is usually thick and it moves slowly and sticky at the same time. So this kind of cholesterol will stick on the walls of the blood vessels and cause narrowing of the blood vessels. And what is the end result of this? It will cause blocking of blood flow sometimes, and also it can sometimes lead to increase in the blood pressure, because when the blood vessel wall is narrowed, there is going to be a small surface area for the movement of the blood, hence resulting in hypertension, and that condition is called atherosclerosis. And once this condition occurs, it's going to increase the risk of heart disease, the risk of stroke, type 2 diabetes, and inflammation. And what I just described was the process of inflammation. Once these fatty acids clog and the cholesterol clogs on the blood vessels, is going to invite the immune cells to come. And they are going to come in the response to an immune protective function, whereby they sense this clot as a danger sign. So once they are mobilized, this is going to cause release of inflammatory substances, hence leading to inflammation. Regulations and recommendations. Many countries have banned or limited trans fats in the food production because we have already seen that they are not healthy for the body and they lead to cardiovascular diseases. The World Health Organization goal is to completely eliminate industrial trans fats globally. And our advice and as nutritionists and health workers and doctors is that the populations are encouraged to avoid foods with partially hydrogenated oils on the label. So it is important for you to read food labels for you to understand the kinds of fats that are noted, because it is the rule for every food product that is produced, a food label has to be put in order for the consumer to discern for themselves what they want to consume. The differences between the cis and trans fats. The cis fats, in the aspect of double bonding, the cis fats have hydrogens on the same side. The trans fats, the hydrogens occur on opposite side. For the shape, the cis fats are bent and the trans fats are straight. They appear like saturated fats. For the sources, the cis fats occur naturally, especially in plants and fish, and the trans fats are a result of processed foods and margarine. The health impact is cis fats are generally beneficial for the body, but trans fats are usually harmful to heart health. Let's also briefly look at phospholipids structure. In the previous lectures, we said that phospholipids are like triglycerides, but here one fatty acid is replaced by a phosphate group. And they are amphiphilic. They have a polar head and a nonpolar tail. For example, phosphatidyl choline, also known as lecithin. The properties of phospholipids is that they enable emulsification where there is an oil and the water mix. They form structures such as micelles, liposomes, and lipid bilayers. So thank you. This is what we have for this class.